Welcome back to another episode of The John, your daily sports dump, where we plunge in the sports world. We are a sports pipeline for breaking news, game recaps, and the hottest takes in the sports industry. So I take care of business, let us flush out the details, and fill you in on what's happening. Take a seat, get comfortable, and make sure you have plenty of TP. It's time to explode the commode. I'm your host, John, and today we got a special guest. One of the, with all the transfer portal news going on, one of the first Bradley guys to commit, Trevion Payton, has joined me today and talked about his journey and how he got from Division II to Bradley University. So Trevion, thank you for taking time to hop on.
How you doing, man? What's going on?
Nothing much, bro. So for people who don't know you, right? Obviously, I go to Bradley. Like I a lot of the guys I interview and player and athletes I interview are from Bradley. So for people who don't know you on and off the court, who are you? Kind of let the Bradley fans know.
I'm a chill guy. I like to have fun with my teammates stuff, but mainly a chill guy. On the court, competitor, love to win, hate losing. So that's really who I am, man. Chill guy who loves to compete on the court.
Totally. Yeah. So I don't know if you know Duke Dean. He was one of the first guys at Bradley my freshman year. He was like our star guard. Like basically this year's version, what Quan was for us this year, Duke Dean was at my freshman year. So he had a very interesting journey where he went, I think, if I remember, junior college to Troy to Bradley. You had a somewhat similar journey, right? You went to D2, now to D1. How did that kind of shape you into the player that you are now?
Man, going D2 out of high school really shaped me for sure. It helped me learn a lot about basketball, really, like on and off the court, how to handle myself, how to not worry about where I'm at certain points in life, but just keep going, keep building. So D2 definitely helped me shape me to where I am today. I feel like me going D2 definitely pushed me harder than I think I would have going D1 out of high school. So D2 definitely good was
Mhm.
good for me
Totally, and that's something that Duke told me. And a lot of the guys at Bradley usually, unless they come here out of high school, are usually transfers from other schools in all of our sports. And a lot of the like on the women's team, we had some players who I think one of them was a JUCO. Like it it makes me realize they're all like I wouldn't trade it for the world because they're like Duke told me when he went to Troy and his first experience. I don't know what it was like for you at D2, but for him at JUCO and stuff, they did all their pregame taping and all their like stretching and stuff. And he said when he got to the D1 level and they had a trainer doing it for him, he felt like it was the weirdest thing in the world. And that's what I think makes why you see so many of these stars coming in from smaller schools because and this is not to put anything about like those top guys at the top schools, but the dudes at the smaller schools have to work a lot harder, I feel like, in order to get to where they are.
for sure. Definitely. I feel like us not having the resources that these top D1 schools have definitely make us realize, oh yeah, we have to go chase what they're getting for sure.
Totally. And then when you entered the portal, what were you looking for in your next school, and what made Bradley the right choice for you?
I was definitely looking for somewhere I can come in and impact winning. That's a big thing. I love to win. And then somewhere, I feel like have the same level, not same level, but same style of play I had. You know, somewhere that I fit. Bradley stood out immediately when they hit me up. They shoot a lot of threes. I love shooting threes. Shoot a lot of threes. They compete on the court every possession. I watch film on them, so it was definitely a good fit for me. So that's what I was looking for. And Bradley stood out between all other schools that hit me up and everything like that. So
Totally.
and Coach Wardle, man, he's a great guy.
Totally. I was about to segue. What did the coaching staff tell you? Because, right, as I told you, right, Worrell's a friend of the podcast. So, what did the coaching staff tell you your role was going to be right when you got here?
Man, they told me I was gonna come in, shoot the ball, obviously, but definitely help make plays. I'm gonna be one of the bigger guards, so I'm gonna be making plays, making shots, and that's what something I look for too. Like somewhere I come in, have a big impact on the team. So he has utmost confidence in me, and I'm really grateful for that. So definitely coming in, making shots, making plays, getting the teammate involved, and competing. That's what he told me I was gonna be doing. And all the coaching staff really.
Totally. And then how did you know, right? Because even when you're on a visit as an athlete, but also as a student, when you go to a college, most people decide in their college because they had that moment where it's like it feels like I could live, like I could see myself here. What was that moment like? How did you know Bradley was when you're on that visit to Peoria and you're like, this is the moment, like this is the place for me. What was that kind of like, and when did it click? Right when you were on the visit, like this is where I'm gonna be?
So it kind of clicked before that, honestly. I had a Zoom with Bradley, and the Zoom was so like catered to me, and they showed me everything that how they would use me, where I'll be staying at, everything like that. I'm like, so all between all the other Zoom call I had with other schools, Bradley still got so much to me. I was like, man, they were going to my first visit, so I'm like, I'm seeing everything, is everything lining up with the coaching staff, with the facilities, with everything like that. So I'm like, man, if I go on my visit and I love it so much, I'm gonna pull a trigger. So I came on my visit. It was more than I expected. I met some of the players. Guys are great. Facilities are amazing. Like I never seen facilities like that coming from, you know, a low D1, a low D2. Like so, facilities great. The court was amazing. So and I just felt like it was definitely going to be a good home for me. So I definitely like on my visit, man, no brainer to commit. So
Totally. And another thing that shouldn't really affect, your commitment. The unis, they got some nice looking uniforms. The script Bree, thankfully, I'm not trying to be a hater, but thankfully they got the script uniforms like fully my freshman year. But 2 years
yeah,
before that, they had like the old like Shield B, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm much happier we have the script B with the baby blue and stuff. It looks a lot nicer on the uniform.
man, jerseys are nice, man.
Exactly. So right, you talked a little bit about it, how you shoot the three ball well. You shot 47% from three. Where did, how do you become such a confident 3-point shooter? And especially right in a game and not even in college, in NBA, we're seeing, I mean, I'm an Illinois fan as well. We're seeing 7'2" dudes, the Ivasic dudes, hitting step
Yeah.
back threes and stuff. So how do you make yourself stand out like that and hit, I mean, almost 50% of your threes? That's insane. So how do you what do you attribute to that?
Just the work I put in, honestly, since I was young, I was a little chubbier guard when I was younger, so I wasn't just going past the finish. I had to find something I could do to separate myself. So, me, my dad, my brother, we stayed in the gym, long hours, long nights, shooting wide jumpers to make sure me and my brother, obviously, more time with each other shooting shots. So I could be able to make jumpers if I couldn't, never got fast enough to get past defenders. But yeah, just the work I put in and my coaches and my teammates having confidence in me to make the shots for sure. Like without them having confidence in me, I probably wouldn't even shoot it as much. Like this past year, I didn't shoot it. I didn't shoot a lot of shots, but the shots I took, my coaches felt comfortable with me taking. My teammates knew to get me the ball and everything like that. So just those things helped me become a elite shooter and have confidence in myself. Obviously, I have utmost confidence in myself. I think every shot's gonna go in. I hate missing, so I think every shot's gonna go in. So those things would definitely help me become a good shooter. And I feel like it's going to just keep getting better. So hopefully this year I shoot higher than what I shot.
Totally. And I think that's one of the things that you see these March Madness runs, like we saw, right? Iowa March Mad, even though they're like a power four, but High Point, right? They
Mm-hmm.
live and die fast paced three balls. Like a school like Bradley, and I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer. A way we're gonna beat a power four team is by shooting the lights out of the three. Like that's how it is. Especially now with NIL, like
Mm-hmm.
they could pay our best. Like right, we saw Quan leave. He left to Iowa State, right? And no hate. Like I get that. Like right.
Yeah,
But the way how schools like us, we're gonna have 1 through 5 guys on the court that can shoot three ball if we want to win. Like that's just
definitely.
how it has to be now, especially in college basketball, which I think makes it so interesting. And you also brought up another point, the three when I play pickup basketball, I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. So, I'm standing in the corner, I'm doing the stereotypical thing that a guy like me would do, right? Stand in the
Yeah,
corner, shoot my threes, play iffy defense, right? Now, if it's someone who's a lot more athletic and faster than me, they're gonna blow by me. But I can shuffle a little bit. So
yeah,
I definitely see what you mean with the confidence, but I would say you're just a little more athletic and probably a little taller than me.
yeah. For
Um,
sure.
you talked about it a little bit. You talked like right what Bradley was pitching you right as a playmaker, do it all, score. What do you kind of see yourself as out of those three? Or it could be a little bit of this, like a little bit of that, a little bit of everything for this team. Like what do you bring? You talked about a little like as a scorer, as a playmaker, or even right a veteran guy. We have a lot of young guys on this team
Yeah.
coming into this coming year. So what do you kind of bring to that?
Definitely. I'm trying to come in and be a leader for sure. I've been a leader on most of the teams I've been on, so definitely come in and leader. Especially, got a couple young guys, try to help them, grow up, build some more. But I thought I'm gonna come in and try to do everything. Honestly, I'm gonna make those shots. I'm gonna make those plays. Whatever coach need me to do, I'm gonna try to do my hardest.
Mhm.
I just want to win. That's my biggest thing. I could have 0 points. If we win, I'm happy. That's all I care about. So whatever I got to do to help the team win, that's what I'm gonna do.
Totally. And that was something I interviewed AJ Smith earlier this year. He was
Mhm.
on our team. He said the same exact thing. Like, and he was, if you look at the stats, like you might be like, oh, I think he averaged like 8 points and like 5 rebounds. Like, what? But you saw his impact on the floor. Like when he would have a good defensive stand or when he would go and have a big breakaway dunk, like that would elevate our team and then we would end up winning that game because he would have these big games. And he also, coincidentally, I don't think it was a coincidence, played his best basketball late in the end of the season, which is when you need them to play the best, especially being a senior leader. Like I think that's something that you will definitely fit in very well with. What is something about your game that stats don't show, right? And it could be passing the ball, or it could be, let's say like a hockey assist. I don't know if you know hockey, but right,
Yeah.
you get a pump fake, pass it to another dude, and he kicks it right back to another wide open dude. What is something that isn't really in the stat category that you think is something that really is something you're passionate and proud about?
I would definitely say that hockey assists, setting up my teammates to get open shots. Some strategies on show. It's probably defensively. I'm a great help side guy. Like my coach always says, if nobody's in help, I'm going to be a help. So I'm definitely a great help side guy. Not me and my teammates don't get beat, but if I have to go help, I'm going to be there to help for sure. I'm
Mhm.
gonna stop the guy from driving and get back to my man. So statues don't show that. Let me think what else. Also defensively, I'm a good in the gaps. Like
Mhm.
getting like little tips. I might like to steal on the stat sheet, but I'm good at tipping the ball and everything like that.
Totally.
So definitely those type of things.
That's a perfect segue into my next question. At 6'5", how important is your versatility on the defensive side of the ball?
And it's very versatile. I had to guard 1 through 5 this year, so it's very versatile. And just having that mindset to want to guard is what I'm trying to definitely focus on this off season. But gotta be versatile at 6'5" combo guard.
Totally. And that's one of Coach Worrell's like known things is defensive intensity. Like that's something that I mean, I knew Bradley. I didn't know Coach Worrell's identity until I got here, but since I've been here for the past 2 years, everyone has told me defensive identity. Like if you are not going 110% on defense, like he's going to let you know about it. And you
Yeah.
you talked a little bit about it, how you said you didn't shoot too many threes, but you're a very efficient player. How do you decide in those games when to be aggressive, take that three shot, or take that drive to the paint and hit that layup, or when you kind of just take a back seat and let the game come to you? How does that kind of go through your head?
Uh, I feel like if the game will come to me, it's gonna come to me. If I feel like I'm open, and I can make a shot, I'm gonna shoot it. But I know even with this upcoming team I'm gonna have at Bradley, the guys around me are just as good as me. So I may not have to force this three or may not have to force this drive. But if it really depends, like you said, I feel like if we're on like a slow run and we're not getting like good shots, that's when I come in, slow the offense down, make a play. If the play comes to me taking a shot or me getting a layup or getting my teammate open, that's what it is. But
Mhm.
I don't like forcing shots, but I definitely know if I've hit a couple shots, I may need to take a couple more shots. But it's just basketball game coming to me, letting it flow. I'm not gonna a guy to go take 100 shots and nothing like that. So just having the
Totally.
flow game coming to me.
Totally. What do you think Bradley fans are going to notice first about your game in those first few games right at Carver Arena? I know you haven't been at Carver Arena, but when it gets loud in there. So what do you think, what do you want fans to see as one of the big thing that stands out of your game?
My competitiveness, not wanting to lose. I'm gonna be on outside of the court. I'm a very calm, collected guy, but on the court, I'm gonna get a little loud, be turned up, and be yelling and everything because I want to compete. So I want them guys to see that he's not just here to be cool and nothing like that. He's here to compete for sure.
Totally. And then, right, we've talked about it. I feel like this year it's been hammered home more than ever in college basketball with this freshman class, right? Illinois, Keaton Wagler. It's been
Mhm.
hammered home dudes who have been overlooked. Do you feel like you've been overlooked on and how you got right? Going D2, no one told you that in 3, 4 years time, you were going to be in Peoria in one of the best mid-major conferences and one of the best teams in that conference. So do you feel like you've kind of been overlooked, and how's that kind of helped you?
Definitely, I feel like I've been overlooked. Coming out of high school, I was a top guy in Georgia, but the transfer portal kind of held me back a little bit. But I feel like I was definitely overlooked, and I'm grateful for that. Honestly, it made me go even harder than what I was going. So I feel like definitely overlooked, but it was a good thing. Now everybody's seeing it. Everybody's gonna know who I am. But yeah, it was definitely good to be overlooked for sure.
Exactly, because I think that also like it puts that work ethic in those guys. Like you,
Hmm.
Keaton Wagler, 3-star dude, right? I know I kind of hammered it home. He was not supposed to be. His dad thought he was going to redshirt when he got to Illinois. Like he was not supposed to be playing, but because they've worked that hard and they're just used, people like that are used to working their butts off. They're gonna like thrive in those situations. And another big thing in sports, right? I'm a baseball guy. Mental side of the sports is something that's huge. So, what has been the biggest moment, or if there's a moment where you kind of prove to yourself that you belong at the D1 level, right? Because you can have coaches, family members, friends, everyone can believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be hard to succeed, especially in basketball where you're a great shooter if you're shooting 50%, which is failing. So, how did you have like a moment where you're like, I belong here?
Yeah, it was this year our not our first, well our first exhibition game before we went to the school. Little Rock played them. We had a meeting with the coaches. He was like, he named me the captain of the team. I was like, man, I just last year I was a D2 guy. I averaged 13, but I was the fourth option on the team. Now I'm playing D1 basketball and I'm being named captain. I'm like, man, I really did this and pushed myself to be this guy. So that was probably the moment I realized, oh, I'm at D1 school, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, stuff like that. So definitely that was the moment I'm like, man, I'm really changing the narrative a little bit.
Totally, totally. And then what would you say is motivating you, right? I talked a little bit about it, but arguably besides maybe the A10, the Valley could be the best mid-major conference in the country. So what motivates you right now headed into the Valley, right? And like I can tell you how physical and how hard it's going to be, but I've never played in it. I've only watched. So what's kind of motivating you right now heading into, right? You still got a whole summer and a little bit of the fall,
Mhm.
but then what is going to motivate you right during this hard Valley season where you're driving in the middle of. Trust me, I've heard that the drive to Drake is not a fun drive in Des Moines, Iowa. I've heard that's not so right. These boring Midwest sort of rough, physical, cold winter days. So, what kind of motivated? What's motivating you right now to head to the Valley?
Man, what really motivated me is Bradley, the school and the team. Man, like I went did my research and everything. Just their winning culture at Bradley, that's definitely motivated me. Like I feel like no matter where we go, we have a chance to win every time, especially with the team we have coming in. So that's what's really motivating me. I'm like, oh yeah, some workouts we're gonna be competing. The guys are gonna know, like, yeah, we're gonna have a chance to probably go win this thing this year. So that's what really motivated me.
Totally. And I think you actually almost answered my next question for this team next year. What are your goals and expectations for this team? Right? They haven't been to the tournament. They would have went in the COVID year. I don't remember if it was 21 or
Mhm.
22 or 20. But since then, they've been right on the cusp, right? We've battled Drake in the championship. We lost this year to UNI, who won the championship. So,
Yeah,
what is your goal for this team next year?
to go win it, man. We want to win the Missouri Valley tournament. We want the preseason. We want to win everything. We're gonna go to the tournament, win games. We just want to win. That's the goals I have for this team this next year.
Totally. And I think that's something that like a reason why like I'm never counting out a team, right? Even if let's say they put us at right, I don't know how many teams there are in the valley, but like let's say they put us near like the middle of the pack, lower middle of the pack. Drake, when they went 30 and whatever with Sturts in them,
Mhm.
no one expected it because of the transfer portal. Like you didn't know any of those guys, and now all of them or most of them are at Iowa now. So like that's the
Yeah,
thing with these preseason rankings. It's like Kentucky was number 9 in the country and they lost in the second round this year. Like
yeah,
that's the thing. It's like you can be on paper, like right. I'm an Illinois fan. On paper, they look like they're going to be a top 5 team in the country next year, but you don't know that until you play the games. Like
Definitely.
that's what I love about the new version of college basketball. Now, the whole NIL stuff, I could go on and on about the issues with that, but
Yeah.
it makes it so much more intriguing from a fan perspective where these teams can kind of come out of nowhere. And you
Definitely.
can that's what makes it more interesting as a fan, right? If I'm going into this year, right? Bradley, we lost, everyone will think, oh, we lost Jaquan. Like, how are we going to be able to bounce back? But then I'm like, what was Drake thinking when they lost Tucker DeVries and Darren DeVries and all those guys?
Hmm.
They were like, we're not going to be good. The next year, you made it to the second round of the tournament and had Texas Tech on the ropes. Like, that's the thing that I love about college basketball right now.
Definitely. Having having guys in the transfer portal, not knowing what your team will look like next year, I feel like that's exciting, especially for a fan, like you said. Having these new guys coming in, like, oh, what are these guys gonna do for our team? What are they gonna do for us? We're watching them. It's definitely good. And, like being an underdog, it's a great feeling. I love being an underdog. Like Pine Bluff, we were ranked, I think, second to last in our conference, and going in, we should have been second or first, really. But going into the tournament, we were sixth. So we kind of moved up the rankings, but
Mhm.
nobody thought we were gonna be as good as we were because we had so many transfers and everything like that. So
Mhm.
being a little underrated, that's definitely good for us.
Exactly. And I think another thing that makes it like so good is because I think those teams that are like the favorites play with a lot more pressure on themselves. Whereas a team like a Bradley, if we're going into a Power Four, right? Let's say we have a Power Four non-conference game this year. They have all to lose. We have nothing to lose. So we're gonna bust our ass and we're gonna try and get the best out of you guys. Whereas you guys might have to play a little more stressed out because let's say they lose to a Bradley. For us, we expect that to win. For them, for like a Power Four to lose to a mid major, like
Yeah,
that's a bad look for them. So
sure.
that's why I love the underdog is like we have that mindset where we're just going hard every game and we don't have
Every game
anything to lose, and that's what makes it 10 times better.
for sure, definitely. Like nothing to lose at all. We
Exactly.
go in every game, think we're gonna win, nothing to lose. Put it all out on the line.
Exactly. What kind of impact do you want to make on this team? I know we've talked about it, but immediately, like right when you first step into Peoria for the summer workouts, like what do you want to because right, we're returning six, I could be wrong.
Yeah, six
Six-ish,
guys.
six guys. So right, those guys already have some continuity. What are you going to do to try and, step in there, be a leader for these guys and work with them?
Like I said, definitely want to be a leader. Definitely want them guys to have that level of competitiveness that I have. Like first day, I want guys to be going at each other. Just not, might know each other to be cool and everything, but on the court, I want everybody going at each other. There's no friends on the court. Once
Mhm.
you step off court, you're gonna be cool and everything. But in practice and everything like that, I want guys to compete. That's what I want. I'm be a leader, telling guys, yo, go out here right now. We have to. The only way we get better is to compete against each other.
Totally, totally. And then what would you say a successful season, right? We talked a lot about Bradley. What would a
Mm.
successful season look like for you, right? Because some dudes expect to go to a school and average 20 plus points and whatever. And some dudes, like you've talked about a little bit earlier, just want to win. So what does a successful season look like for you in the personal? It doesn't have to be statistical. It could be whatever you want. What do you think a successful season is for you?
Winning, man. If I can impact winning by averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and we win a championship, that's a great season for me. Like
Mhm.
that's the main thing. Like I want to win championships. That's a success to me. I can average 2 points. We win, and I impacted it. It's not on stat sheet. I'm good.
Fair, fair. So now I kind of got quick hitters, asked like easier, like not as harder questions. Um, who's the best shooter you ever played with?
Best shooter I ever played with, Sir Hughes at Limestone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then who's the toughest defender you've ever faced? That has just been someone who like either has had your number or you've seen him guard one of your teammates and you're like, that is just hell. Like that just looks like not fun.
I got two guys. I got Keon Williams, my teammate this year,
Okay.
and my brother Fred Payton. He's a hard defender.
I think also being a brother is something that even like when I play my brother now, obviously it's not to the extent and intensity of you and your brother, but um he always like there's just he'll just mess around with me and like it'll get to me. Like it's just the
Yeah,
brother know your brother knows your weaknesses.
for sure.
Who's an NBA player you model your game after?
It's a couple guys. I'll say like Cade Cunningham with his playmaking abilities.
Mhm.
You know, Jamal Murray because he can shoot it well, but also make plays. So like those two guys for sure.
Totally.
There's a couple other guys, but those two guys for sure.
Totally. And then, right, you hit it on the head. Talking about NBA, playoffs started up. Well, playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs actually start today? Or no,
Yeah,
no, play-in's still going on.
yeah,
Play-in's still
playing,
going
yeah.
on. But right, the playoffs are starting up. Who do you think's gonna who would you say is coming out the East and the West, and then who do you think wins it all?
Man, it's a tough one. I'm a Warriors fan, so I think they're gonna win it all in a
Fair.
year.
I mean, Curry, that
But
was like I mean that I was playing Fortnite last night and I was watching that shot. That was the
man,
most Curry-esque shot like ever.
yeah, me and some of the guys that were here watching it last night, we was over here going crazy. I was going crazy because I'm a Steph Curry fan, like diehard Steph Curry fan. But yeah, so I think they're gonna win it all. Ooh, other than them, maybe the Nuggets. Yeah, those are my two picks right now. Warriors,
I have a
Nuggets.
question. If the Spurs and the Thunder match up, right? Let's say I think they're on the opposite side of the bracket. So if they
Hmm.
match up in the finals, are you taking the Spurs because of how much they've dominated the Thunder in the regular season, or you think postseason's a completely different animal?
I definitely think postseason different animal. OKC's been there more than the Spurs team has with the guys they have. But I may take the Thunder because
They've matched.
Shay's is different.
She's as much as last year I was not a fan of him winning the MVP. I thought Jokic should have won it, and I
Yeah.
made a whole podcast and stuff about it. Like I was big in the stats, but like this year he's been insane. Like
Yeah.
people look at the stats and be like, "Oh, he's only averaging 31 because Luka averaged almost 34." It's like he averaged 31. Look who's on his team. Like he's averaging 31 and has been the star player for his team in what, 4 straight years basically is he's
Or
been the
Shay's sure.
legit guy. Like
Mhm.
and also who in the East, like obviously the Pistons are good. I like the Pistons. Who
Mhm.
matches up with the Thunder? Like I can't see anyone outside of the West. Like I think
I
it's
don't think
gonna
anyone.
it's like the Warriors when the Warriors had their sort of dynasty, like basically the Western Conference Finals, unless LeBron was in the East and did his 2018 Magic run, like unless it's like that, the Western Conference Finals is basically for the championship right now, is what it feels
Yeah.
like. Now, I hope
Mhm.
I'm wrong, right? Because I'm a Bulls fan, so hopefully the Eastern Conference can do something. But realistically, it looks very, very dim. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
You play the games for a reason, but thank you for taking time, right, to discuss this. I know you and I are both kind of busy with the end of school coming up, locking in with all the finals and all the
Sure.
advising meetings. So,
Yeah.
I want to take time to thank you. Thank you guys for watching today's episode of The John, where we punch into everything sports and flushed out all the nonsense. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for sports updates and hot takes in real time. Don't forget to join me next time on The John, your daily sports hub. We'll be dropping the sprinkler head into your water of sports curiosity. Until then, keep game face on and stay regular. This is The John.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 35, 45 minutes.